Hi guys, Mr. Brink here. It is April 6th now. We've been out of school 4 weeks and we still have at least 4 weeks to go. So I know this has been a really difficult time for a lot of you guys. It's been a difficult time for everyone. So I just wanted to remind you what you still have in your future and how to go about that as far as the AP test goes. So I know this has been a difficult time for everyone. You guys feel it. I feel it. I'm sure your families are feeling it as well. But it's being able to come through these challenges, and this will come to an end, and we'll get back to normal life at some point in the future. Unfortunately, for a lot of you guys, your seniors, this is really affecting your senior year a lot. But I just wanted to remind you that you still have the opportunity to get your college credit for passing the AP exam because of the changes they've made. For some of you, this may be actually an easier opportunity to get that AP credit than it would have otherwise. So don't give up. Okay. Remember what you're working for. You're still working for college credit because once this all passes, hopefully most of you are going to be going on to college, and that college credit will be helpful for you guys in the future. So don't give up. I know it's really easy to say, forget this. I'm just going to stay in bed and wake up in 4 weeks when this is all over. I felt that way, and a lot of people feel that way as well, but it's difficult times like this that really build your character. So probably more important than any fact that you learn in school or being able to solve any problem is the character that you build during tough times, and this is one of those tough times. So stay focused. I'm not giving you a ton of work, but I am giving you work that's geared towards making you successful for your AP exam so that you can get that college credit and hopefully use that college credit in the future to help you in your college career, which will ultimately hopefully help you in your ultimate career that you choose. So again, be encouraged. The test is now only 45 minutes long, really 50 minutes, and I'll be going through each one separately as to what that means for you guys, but just know that I miss you guys, and I hope that you guys are doing well. All right, as far as AP Environmental Science goes, this is probably the one that I'm most encouraged about because the way they changed the test should hopefully make it easier for you guys to be able to get at least a 3, 4, or 5 on this test and get your college credit. So a couple things to know. One is your test is going to be on May 18th at 3 p.m. So if we assume that we're not going to be in school, or even if we are in school, there's a good chance you'll be taking this from home anyway. There's two options as far as the AP Environmental Test goes for submitting your answers. One is just to type it out in the program that they develop, and hopefully they're going to be coming up with some practice ways of doing that. That's what I recommend for the AP Environmental Science test, is as long as you're fairly quick at typing, and a lot of you guys are, just type in the answers in the box. So the other option is to write it out and then take a picture of it or scan it and then submit it that way, but I think that's going to take longer and probably is more difficult as far as answering the questions goes. So for environmental science, I definitely recommend that you just type the answers in the box. That's not the way if you're in my calculus class, so we're going to do calculus because typing out an integral is going to be very difficult. So I'll talk about that in the calculus video as well. So what you need to do for actually all your AP exams is decide which format you're going to use. You can have a laptop or computer is going to be the best way to take this exam online because then you can hopefully see it. It's going to be a lot better than doing it on your phone because your phone's got a really small screen, obviously. So hopefully you guys have a computer or laptop at home. If you don't, I want you to email me so that we can see what we can do about getting you a laptop, and hopefully you have good internet access as well at your house. So if you don't, I want you to email me that as well. So some kind of reliable internet access or hotspot that you can use so that you can take this test. Okay. So it's going to be 2 free response questions. The first one is going to be just 25 minutes, and it's going to be the design and investigation one. And the assignment that I give you for this week is going to be an AP Classroom. I'll email this out to you. There's 2 free response questions that are design and investigation type questions. Okay, so for design and investigation, you're talking about having a control group potentially, identifying what the independent variable is and the dependent variable, and designing an experiment that way. So just remember, a control group has nothing or none of what's actually being tested. The independent variable is the one that you, as a researcher, as a lab person, gets to change. So this is controlled by you. So for instance, I can choose to make a 0.01% solution, a 0.1% solution, a 1% solution, 10% solution. Those are the independent variables. And the dependent variables is the one that you don't control, but it depends on what the independent variable is. So the dependent variable is the one that depends on something else as well. So there's a good chance that the question that they ask, whatever the topic is going to have something to do with that. So I've given you 2 free response questions to do in AP Classroom. Again, they're both design and investigation. One thing to know about the the question in AP Classroom that I've noticed, at least from my end, I see the question up here, and then underneath that they put this random box where they don't actually ask you a question. So there may be some random box that you can actually type into where they're not actually asking a question. So if they give you the prompt and then part A gives you a little bit more information, and then they put a box under that and they don't ask you anything until part AI, then just start doing your answer there. So there may be boxes that are a little bit confusing where you're actually not going to type an answer, but the boxes are there. And then you're going to submit it, and then I can read everything in there as well. So that's your assignment, is 2 of those things to do for the week of April 6th. For next week, we'll do the other type, which is propose a solution, and I'll be typing up some hint sheets and stuff like that and emailing those out to you guys as well. If you're not getting my emails, email me at ryan.brink@birdvilleschools.net. It's better to use a non-Birdville email if you have one, because the Birdville emails have been not going through in a lot of situations. So the design investigation is the long question that's 25 minutes. It's 60% of your grade. And then once you have that done, you have 25 minutes to work on it, and then you'll have 5 minutes to submit it. And then the second free response question, you have 15 minutes to work on, so it'll be a little bit shorter. And then after that 15 minutes is up, you'll have 5 minutes to submit that as well. Once you submit the first one, you can't go back to it. So, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to probably get it done a little bit quicker than 25 minutes. So like at 24 minutes, as long as you're done, go ahead and trying to submit it, because I'm a little worried about the College Board site maybe crashing when, thousands and thousands of people all across the United States at the same time are trying to submit their answers. So again, you can upload a problem, and you can also have 2 computers too. So you're allowed to look up other information. You're also allowed to look up your notes. So use those resources. So if you have 2 computers, or you have a cell phone in one hand and your computer in front of you in the other hand, that's even better, in case you need to look something up. Okay. But again, most of the points is going to be in being able to explain it, look at the graph or the chart that they give you, and do that as well. But if you forget what the independent variable is, you could Google that and stuff like that. So my notes are a resource that you can use. The internet's a resource that you can use. I don't want to be very careful of this, not that any of you would do this, but do not get help from somebody else. So you can't have your, brother, you can't call me up and say, come over and take my test for me. You can't get together in a group and answer them as a group, because the College Board has ways of detecting that. And they've said right out that if you get caught cheating, they're going to notify every single college that you sent AP scores to, or PSAT scores, or SAT scores to. So do not use somebody else or get together in a group and try and answer these questions. Okay. I suspect one of the ways they can do that is they know what IP address it was submitted from. So if you're all using, like 4 of you have similar answers and you all submitted from the same IP address, that's going to raise red flags. Okay. Also, don't cut and paste stuff, because they're going to look for plagiarism. So if there's a question, that you can look up on the internet and Google it, don't just copy and paste that. They're going to be able to detect that as well. So, but what you are allowed to use is notes. You can use Google to look stuff up, but again, you have to put stuff in your own words, just like you would in an English class. Okay. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more clarity about the AP Environmental Science test and what we're doing this week. If you have any questions, just let me know. Just contact me and I'll answer them. And then this one, I'll be looking through your answers and looking to see how you do, and emailing you back suggestions. Okay. Work is now due Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So you have until Sunday to do it now, not just Friday. And don't procrastinate, because last week at, Friday night when I said everything was due, I got a wave of emails and work submitted that way. So be proactive and be on top of things, because you don't want to wait till the last minute. That's just building bad habits that you don't want to take to college with you, is waiting till the last minute to get stuff done. Okay. So good to talk to you, and we'll be talking to you in the future.